And you're listening to News Talk 1340 WJRW. John Gonzalez, the Going Gonzo Show, weekdays at 1 o'clock. It's a Wednesday. I have to remind myself what day of the week it is when you're on the road traveling. You know what I'm talking about, right, folks? When you're on the road, when you're just out of your normal routine, you try to figure out what day, what time is it, where am I going, what am I doing? Well, we are here in Mackinac Island. I've been spending a couple days here for my job at mlive.com and writing stories and getting photos and videos, and you'll find all the coverage. Just go to mlive.com, and I'll be working on more of that tonight, and you'll get more stories and videos tomorrow on mlive. In the meantime, we've been meeting some people and business owners and just exploring the island and trying to get away from downtown, and that's where we're at right now at Wawashkamo Golf Course, a beautiful historic area on the other side of the island. But last night we were downtown, and one of the things that we asked readers of MLive is to tell us, what are some of the places we should check out for dinner, right? And one of the places that was mentioned was the Yankee Rebel. The Yankee Rebel, right downtown, not too far from where we were staying at. And they said you have to have the pot roast, right? And we were looking for a place for dinner last night. We said, hey, Yankee Rebel, I think they have the pot roast. So we went there, and we found out, wow, they have more than just pot roast. So I had to bring in the owner, Steve Moskwa. And Steve, we had a great dinner last night. And you do more than just pot roast, don't you?
Certainly. Thanks, John, very much. Yes, we have a full menu. There's lunch and dinner, but we have wonderful salads and nice little fun appetizers, some mussels Diablo, or a little steak bites or fish bites, some deep-fried, nice little whitefish bites that we have. But, yes, thanks. For dinner, there's whitefish and, as in most places up north, a staple, as well as pot roast sells really well for us. We also have nice racks of rib, prime rib every day, a nice filet. So, yeah, full menu. And last night, I think you guys had some balsamic chicken to go with some of the scallop special we had. So I hope you all enjoyed it.
We had a great time, and it was, like I said, a little unexpected for me because I was like, oh, well, a place like the Yankee Rebel, it sounds like maybe a bar place. I know you also own the Horns Bar as well, and we ended up there later on in the evening after we were checking around downtown. But I love the story you were telling me last night of why you named the restaurant the Yankee Rebel.
Sure. Be glad to share that with you. It ties into the War of 1812. My wife, Patty, and I, we were researching a name for the restaurant 17 years ago, and we came across a wonderful story about Ambrose Davenport. He was a soldier who lived from Virginia originally, who lived here on the island, who was out of the military at the time. But this is at the beginning of the War of 1812, when the British recaptured the island. They wanted all the residents to swear allegiance to the crown. And he would not, with a few other local men here, and he was arrested. And they interred him in Fort Detroit and referred to him as the Yankee Rebel. He was a little bit of a rebellious type, and his family home is still here on the island. And there's on the West Bluff Annex side of the island here. And we've met family members of his descendants, and it's really quite interesting. A little bit of rich Michigan history right here. And he was interred for 3 years in Fort Detroit and came back and raised his family and had a farm, and we thought that was a great story. So we did this whole theme about comfort food and a tavern, which is, it doesn't sound like maybe in today's terms. A tavern was a place people met and would meet, have a bite to eat, and converse and just gather. So that was our theme, the Yankee Rebel Tavern.
Yeah, I love that story, Yankee Rebel Tavern, and I said, you know what, we got to go there. And, of course, we did have the pot roast sliders, which were fantastic. But if you don't mind, Steve, your accent is a little interesting. Where are you from originally, and how long have you been here on the island?
Well, sure, John. I grew up in the UP, as you might have guessed, but on Chenagan, the far west end. So that's about 5 hours west of here, just where the Porcupine Mountains are, not too far from the Wisconsin border. But I've been here with my wife, Patty, since 1979, working and living on the island full-time. When we got married, we went to work for Patty's grandfather at Horns Bar, and we've been here ever since, I guess. It's just year-round, full-time, so we enjoy the winters as well as the summers. We're active in the community and love it here. So.
It's interesting that you say you love the winters just as much as the summers. I'm sure it's a lot of work during the summer when you own businesses and you're trying to keep everything together, but you must also enjoy the winter. What's the winter like here?
Yeah, winter is, I guess you could say. I grew up where we probably had more snow in the western UP. Here you get 75 to maybe 150 inches of snow in the winter. The boats will run through the first of the year and into January, depending on the weather conditions, on the ice conditions and the straits. Usually the straits freeze up sometime in January. So after that, you have to fly off. But what everyone waits for is the ice bridge to make. Usually by the end of January or into February sometime, there's an ice bridge, and it often lasts a couple months, and people cross on snow machines to St. Ignace. And it's a very fun thing to do, but also somewhat dangerous. You have to be careful. I'm not one of the first ones out there, I must say, but the local boys go out and they spud holes in the ice every few yards, and then they check the thickness and put Christmas trees, old discarded Christmas trees up from off Stonecliff, going northwest towards St. Ignace, and it's about 3 miles, and you cross following that path. And if there's good ice, you can cross pretty much anywhere, but many times there's, questionable ice, so you have to be careful out there. And some people say, well, I'd never do that, but if they were stuck here all winter, they might consider doing it after a little while. But as far as winter goes, the fall is after November 1st, the hotels close and things really slow down here, and it's maintenance time. Everyone has work that they want to complete before the winter months, and then it's Thanksgiving, and it's the holidays and Christmas, and we have a Christmas tree lighting ceremony downtown, which is very pretty in early December. The community is all downtown having fun and active in a lot of things here. It's a small town. There's only 500 to 600 people here during the winter months. But it's fun. We cross-country ski in the winter, snowmobile, as I mentioned, and you can snowmobile not in the park, but on the roads downtown and around the island. So.
It sounds fascinating, and it's good to hear that perspective of things because you just don't realize it. I'm kind of curious, though, Steve, how has business been here on the island the last couple of years? I mean, this Pure Michigan campaign that the state is running, and you see here on the island the number of foreign speakers, those that come from different countries. So we know we're getting, an international, visitors here as well as, visitors from around the country. But, have you seen a spike with Pure Michigan and this whole, Support Michigan campaign?
Sure. I truly believe we've seen a spike, totally. There was a downturn, as everyone felt it, starting in 2009, but things started getting a little better in 10 and 11 and 12. So I'm a big supporter and very happy that this program exists. I think, shows Michigan and all of Michigan in a better light to the rest of the country as well as the world.
Yeah, you're right. It really has, I think, raised the awareness of the beauty the state has to offer, and a little bit of everything if that's what you want to experience. I guess just to kind of wrap things up for the listeners, when they come down here, how can we find Horns Bar and the Yankee Rabble Tavern? Where are you located at?
Sure, we're located right on Main Street at Horns Bar, right across from the Arnold Line Ferry. The carriage tours load the buggies right out in front of us at Horns Bar. And the Yankee Rebel Tavern is on Astor Street, which is in the middle of town, just half a block away. It is named after John Jacob Astor. John Jacob Astor owned the American Fur Company here on Mackinac Island, and he made his first $1 million trading furs. He was not here specifically, but his agent, Robert Stewart, ran a going business that was in the early 1800s, trading furs and pelts for the British, or for the whole continent of Europe, where people had those fun fur coats and hats and all. So, but that's where we're at. We're downtown on Astor Street or on Main Street. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you for your time. It was great having you out. And, again, it was a lot of fun coming out and checking out your restaurants last night. Great food. That's one thing, Judy, I think you and I both were like, holy cow. There's not only are we, getting just this great, experience of the beauty of Michigan, but they take an interest in putting together good quality menus and good food up here.
Oh, yeah. We didn't have one bad meal. No, not at all. Even if we did, I don't think we would say anything, but no. No, but there really wasn't. The whole entire time, I'm amused by everything, so I'm like sitting here, oh, look at that, look at this. And then I'm eating my meal, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is insane. This is so good. So I loved it. I loved every place we went. Everybody is so nice here. They just have a great feeling about life. They just have a great soul, and it's just beautiful. I wish I could be here all year. I'm not gonna lie. I want to come back. I can't wait till the next time I come back.
Judy, you're so funny. No, you have to. Here's the thing. I'm going to out you now because this is a great story. Listeners, there's a couple seconds here before we go to local news and ABC news. We were heading over to Mission Point to check it out, right? We stopped off at a bakery sweet shop to get a cinnamon roll. Where we would have gone to what? It was right across the street from the Chuck Wagon, yeah. And we stopped in there. We grabbed this huge cinnamon. It was Martha's huge cinnamon roll. I said, please cut that in half so we can share it, right? And then we walked all the way to Mission Point. We were getting to our appointment. We're waiting for Bradley to give us a tour. And as soon as I find Bradley, I turn around and introduce Judy, right? And she has just taken a big bite of her cinnamon roll.
Well, yeah, I didn't think you were going to introduce me because I normally introduce myself. Oh, hi, I'm John's producer, But no, he, introduces me, and I'm, deep into this cinnamon roll, and my mouth is full. I'm trying to, oh, excuse me. Yeah, that was all you, though. It was all you. That was not my fault.
The funny thing is, I go to have some of this after the tour was over. I go to have some of the cinnamon roll. Half of it was gone already. When did you find time to eat the cinnamon roll?
You guys were talking, and I was interested in what you're saying, but once you have one bite, you can't resist. You got to keep going with it. And then every time he would talk and turn away, I would sneak a little piece and then keep walking. I don't know. It's all right.
And the other running joke we had, folks, just in case you're curious, is that Judy still has not remembered whether she visited here when she was in 6th grade or whether this is her first time on the island. She still doesn't know.
I know you are the only person in the world that can remember back to when you were in middle school or something, because I can't. I don't remember. I can't even remember my freshman year in college. So I don't know how you expect me to remember 6th grade. But, yeah, I think we just did a day trip. That's what I'm convincing myself that I've been here, but I don't remember, no. I know I have pictures of... I know, but I don't remember.
Steve, you would remember, wouldn't you? He says certainly he would. He's shaking his head. He definitely would do that. Hey, folks, we want to tell you, just if you get a chance, come on out here. It's a beautiful time. Definitely check it out. Mackinac Island and all the places we visited. Come to mlive.com. We'll give you more videos and photos and updates, or find us on Facebook as well. All right, take care, everyone. Have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow here on the Gonzalez Show on News Talk 1340 WJRW.
The sun is hot. I wish I had some time just to kill today. And I wish I had a dime for every bill I got to